Hello, I'm Dr. Adina Williams-Lawson, President of St. Philip's College. I'm excited to be with you today because we are honoring and celebrating a very special day. In 2020, the Texas legislature passed House Bill 3435, establishing March 1st as Texas Girls in STEM Day. So today we are celebrating Texas Girls in STEM Day. March 1st is a very significant day for us at St. Philip's College because in 1898, on March 1st, we were established. It's a very significant day for me because on March 1st in 2007, I arrived at St. Philip's College. And so this March 1st, I will begin my 14th year as president. So I'm excited to share with you today as we celebrate Texas Girls in STEM Day, where we're honoring aspiring professionals and professionals to pursue careers in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. As a woman of color, I know firsthand some of the obstacles that you will be confronted with as you pursue a career pathway of STEM. When I left home in Mississippi to attend graduate school in Ohio, my first instructor offered me a plane ticket back to Mississippi because I didn't belong. I still remember when Dr. Rusher shared those words with me, saying I didn't belong. While she's gone on now, the impact of her words still linger with me to this day, many, more than 40 years later. So today is about encouraging you, to inspire you to pursue careers in STEM. Now, I didn't major in STEM. However, I was able to achieve one of the most visible positions in our nation. I served as the Chief Education Officer for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration in Washington, D.C. Holding that position, my job duties and responsibilities were to inspire the next generation. That was my assignment. I hold dear to that because I feel as though I'm still responsible for inspiring the next generation. When I left NASA, I continued that agenda in establishing a summer academy of math and science at St. Philip's College, creating opportunities for middle school children to engage in a summer workshop. All of the research had told us in the agency that we were underrepresented in the STEM fields, and we needed more students to pursue careers, and the students' interest began to fall off in middle school. So hence, when I arrived at St. Philip's College, we began to focus on math and science summer academies for students in middle school to create a college-going culture where they would pursue their interest in STEM, or we would introduce them to STEM fields and hope that something would spark an interest to pursue that pathway that would lead to being a professional in either science, engineering, technology, or mathematics. We have many programs at St. Philip's College. However, that summer academy, it led to us establishing 2 centers of excellence, a center of excellence in science and a center of excellence in mathematics. The focus of those centers were to establish networks and partnerships with other universities, businesses, and industries, and ultimately to create a networking system where those individuals could be potential mentors for you in the STEM field. We also have other STEM programs and majors for students, be it chemistry or cybersecurity or robotics, anywhere all along the spectrum of the STEM career fields. We have options that are available to you. You will hear from an administrator in STEM. You will hear from professors, faculty members that are at St. Philip's College, and they will share their journeys with you. You will also hear from other students who've gone through our Centers of Excellence, and they will share their journeys with you and what their career trajectory has been. So listen intently, because I expect that one day, one of you will be sharing with others about your experiences. In addition to the career fields that I've shared with you and our Centers of Excellence, we also have a very significant program called the Lewis Stokes Alliance for Minority Participation Program. In here, we partner with other universities and colleges where we demystify all that's happening with the STEM research. We give you an opportunity to partner with professors at other universities where you can engage in meaningful research. Hopefully that one day that research will be published, or that you will be doing presentations at a conference or a workshop to share the research that is done. The LSAMP program, the Lewis Stokes Alliance for Minority Participation, you'll hear more about it as we get further down in the program today, and you'll hear from Tracy Watts, who leads that program for us. I encourage you to begin to think about careers in STEM. No dream is too big for St. Philip's College.
Welcome, future STEM leaders. My name's Edith Rosco. I'm the Dean of Academic Success for Applied Science and Technology at our Martin Luther King campus. I was born in Saltillo, Mexico, and lived there till my parents decided to move to San Antonio for more opportunities. As we arrived, my parents and I only knew Spanish. It was very difficult for them to get jobs, as it was difficult for me to start school. I had to attend English as a second language, or ESL, classes till I was in middle school. As I was learning the English language, I was able to assist my parents in filling out applications and paperwork. I was also able to assist my younger siblings with their schoolwork. It was not until I entered high school that I found out that computer technology was my interest. In high school, I first had a chance to work with computers. I wanted to have one so bad, but my parents could not afford one. So the only time I was able to work with them was when I was in class. My passion for computer technology grew every day. I wanted to see what they can do, how fast they can work, how can they improve our lives, and therefore I decided to follow my passion. I have been in information technology and cybersecurity for the past 25 years, and I continue to enjoy every day. Believe me though, it was not an easy start. Being a female in IT is very rare, and there are very few women that decide to pursue this career. But those that pursue this career are very successful, and just as successful as men. It was very difficult for me coming right out of college, joining a group of men and having to share my ideas when I was the only female in the room. At times I had to raise my voice, I had to raise my hand. I needed to be heard. I knew that my ideas and my solutions were just as good as theirs. For this reason, I'm going to tell you to make sure you follow your passion. The only limits that we have are those that we give ourselves. If I can do it, you can too.
Hi, my name is Dr. Mary Kaleda, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Natural Sciences at St. Philip's College. I've always been fascinated by how life came to be, particularly at the genetic level. I was told that women do not succeed as much in fields involving the kinds of things that I wanted to study, which included theoretical biology, mathematics, and programming. But I had professors who believed in me, and a funny thing happened. The moment I started to believe in myself, it was like a switch went on. Suddenly, math problems were easier to solve. Programming codes just started to work. It was like believing I was smart actually made me smarter. From then on, I promised myself that I would tell all my students, especially the women, that there there was no such thing as being bad at math or bad at science. You just have to start out passionate and then have faith in yourself. Now I get to have everything I ever hoped for. Amazing students in my courses where I get to teach every day, a cool field site where I study monkeys, and St. Philip's College's support of all of the research that my students and I are involved in.
Hello, my name is Maria Rodriguez. I am the Math Director for the Centers of Excellence at St. Philip's College. I earned my degree in mathematics at UTSA. My interest in mathematics was developed at a very young age. However, I started college with a major in computer technology. I have found my passion in helping students reach their educational goal through mathematics. As the Math Director, I have developed 7 STEM outreach programs. I had the privilege to write a $200,000 NSF grant and the opportunity to represent St. Philip's College at Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. For you ladies out there, please don't give up on your dreams. As a student myself, I faced many challenges, but I did not let them get in my way. Stay focused and ask for help from those people around you that could help you. Best of luck and lots of blessings. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Tamika Wilson, Academic Program Director for Title III Grants at St. Philip's College. I want to say that it is such an honor to be recognized as a SPC Woman in STEM and alongside with my colleagues who are true STEM leaders. I am not worthy, but thank you, Dr. Moser, for this great opportunity to share a snippet of my STEM journey, which I tried to escape because I felt in my mind, I didn't belong. Although I felt I did not belong, I stayed the course, and attending an HBCU sort of suppressed that feeling for me. I received a bachelor's in computer science. Now, even though I love physics, but I received my CIS degree in 2003 from Mississippi Valley State University. After graduation, I worked a year or 2 in programming, and guess what? I did not like it, not whatsoever. So I pursued a master's in human development and later a doctorate in higher education with a focus in community college leadership. So long story short, I did see the benefits of my degree. I was more technical than others than I worked with in the past, and also had the ability to figure things out. That's what we do in STEM. We figure things out and we create new things. So over the years, I began to see my purpose in the STEM field, which was to lead others and help those that felt like they did not belong. Going back to my love for physics, I served as a co-principal investigator under the APEX federal grant. That's the Alliance for Physics Excellence, which was designed to enhance physics teaching in the Alabama schools, well, across Alabama, high schools. Similar to the LSAM program, well, the exact LSAM program, I led the Lewis Stokes Alliance for Minority Participation STEM Research Grant for the Georgia-Alabama Alliance in Huntsville, Alabama, and also the SEMA LSAM grant under St. Philip's College leadership for the Alamo College District. Now, these programs aim to increase the number of minorities or underrepresented population in STEM research and the workforce. So, and to add on to that, I am part of the core management team now for the NASA and University of Texas, San Antonio, Myro Research Center. This is also a partnership with St. Philip's College, who has the same focus to increase the number of minorities in STEM. So as you can see, my calling found me and pulled me back to the world of STEM. And my biggest reward is pulling others now, especially underrepresented populations, including women, towards STEM to let them know they belong. We belong, and we are here to help you feel like you belong. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dr. Stacy Kuhn-Howe, and I am an associate professor for biology at St. Philip's College. My journey to become a professor definitely had what you could call or consider a winding road. I attended Prairie View A&M University with hopes that I would graduate with a degree in biology and attend medical school to eventually become a pediatrician. So I prepared myself well, like any other student would do. I volunteered, I got good grades, I studied to make myself competitive as a candidate for becoming a medical school student. So I graduated with my bachelor's in biology and decided I would take some time off, a little bit time away from actually being a student, and join the workforce while I studied for the MCAT, which is an exam you need to take in order to enter as a medical school student. So as I did my studies and taught high school at the time, there were some interesting thoughts or things that actually occurred. While I was teaching my students, I realized that my students were not only they weren't learning the information, but they were just memorizing the information. They weren't consolidating it, meaning that they weren't learning it to know it forever or to use it in any other way. Also at the same time, my grandmother was suffering from the beginning stages of Alzheimer's disease. So my mind kind of drifted to an area where I thought about, how do you improve one's learning and memory? So in diving into the research, I found that there was a graduate program at the University of Texas at San Antonio in learning and memory. And while there are all sorts of areas or sorts of schools that might focus on this area, San Antonio was my hometown. So I decided to move back from Houston, where I was teaching high school, back to San Antonio, and entered as a graduate student to receive my master's degree. And so while I was receiving that degree, it was almost like a door opened. I became so interested in learning and memory as it relates to neuroscience, so much so that I applied to the PhD program in neuroscience and was admitted, and took that journey and received my degree. While I was in graduate school receiving my doctorate, my mother also was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and so the area became near and dear to my heart. So sometimes you'll find in life that your journey kind of takes you on twists and turns, and know that it's okay. It's okay to change your pathway in the middle of making your goals and your pathways in life. So the important thing is that you know what your dreams are and you know what your passions are. Live that and love it in the end, and be confident in it. So it's all up to you in getting there, and just know that you have a village of people that are there to help you, as I did. I had teachers, I had family, I had friends, I had church members that were there to back me up, and you have the same thing. And so with that, I wish you well. I know you will make it, and we're rooting for you 100% of the way.
Hello, I'm the Director of the Center of Excellence for Science. My name is Dr. Jody Duncan Mosier. Glad to have you here today. We're celebrating and honoring women in STEM. I became interested in science at a young age. I was a rock collector as a child, had a rock tumbler in middle school and was making some jewelry with it. I always was curious and investigative in my nature. So it wasn't until I was in college that I found my love for chemistry and pursued a bachelorate in chemistry. Upon receiving that, I decided to pursue a PhD because I wanted to reduce the number of side effects in medication. My doctoral studies involved designing new ways to analyze human body fluids like blood and urine, cerebrospinal fluid, and new ways to analyze drugs and purify drugs. Upon completion of my PhD, I began working in an environmental engineering lab where we were studying how to destruct biological warfare agents and contaminated jet fuels, along with chemicals that were destructive to the environment. I transitioned from there into industry and began working designing and manufacturing pharmaceutical products. That was a very enjoyable time for me. I was able to use the knowledge that I had found and make applications with it. I found I was always volunteering for community outreach events where I was speaking to youth about STEM careers, and I was writing science lessons from the Bible for my Sunday school lessons as a Sunday school teacher. So I decided to transition into education, and now I perform research on innovative teaching methods such as the use of virtual reality. I have encountered obstacles in my path. When I was a senior in college, I was in a life-altering car accident. I was in the hospital for about a month, and during that time, my chemistry professor came, and he brought lessons, and he brought assignments, and he coordinated with the other professors to help me not get too far behind. I was also homeless at the time I was in that accident, and he also arranged a dormitory room so I could be on campus and complete my studies. I was able to finish and get my bachelor's degree in August, and I felt that if it had not been for his help, I would not have been able to do that. Now, I'd like to transition from women STEM professionals to young women who are aspiring to be STEM professionals. You'll hear from young ladies who have conducted research at St. Philip's College and worked in our outreach programs. Thank you for being our guest today.
Hi, my name is Krishna Armstrong. I'm a biology major at St. Philip's College, and I'll be transferring to UTSA fall 2021, declaring a biochemistry major. Now, how I became interested in a STEM profession was honestly the start of my college career, which was taking my first general chemistry class, just being in that class and how the teacher taught it and developing new skills in lab. All of that brought back memories and emotions that I felt towards STEM when I was a child, which was, the excitement and the thrill of learning something new and the passion that I had towards STEM when I was a child. All of that came back to me and was really a determining factor on me wanting to pursue a STEM profession. Now, I do have obstacles that have come along the way or have been in my life since I was a kid that I had to really break through. And one of my biggest ones was my dyslexia. Though my dyslexia doesn't stop me from achieving the goals that I set for myself, it does add some extra challenges. But it doesn't mean I can't achieve the goals that I want. So when I was a child, dyslexia, the stigma on dyslexia was that if you struggled in STEM and math, then it really wasn't an encouragement for you to choose a STEM career. So all of that negativity that I dealt with throughout like elementary to high school, I brought that with me when I started college, and that really hindered me on being successful because I was so focused on failing or thinking I'm going to fail because, I was told I have dyslexia, therefore, I'm not going to do great in these courses, which wasn't true. What I had to do was really take a step back and learn myself and how I retain information. So all that meant for me was that I learned differently than other people. So I may have to study a little bit more, or I may have to seek out different teaching techniques to retain this information. But it doesn't mean that I can't, be a part of this world. So that took me a while to get over, and it still affects me now. The more I take advanced courses, it kind of creeps up sometimes, and I get those negative thoughts like, oh, is this, gonna be too difficult for me? But I have to remember, that there's other outside resources that I can tap into to learn the material, and that no one learns exactly the same way. So that has been one of my biggest, but it hasn't stopped me from achieving anything that I wanted. And my mentors helped me a lot. Um, I've met some mentors that actually do struggle with dyslexia too, that have their masters in, a STEM field, in the STEM field, or they struggle with other things. So if they're able to accomplish their goals, there's no reason for me not to. And college is honestly what you make it. Before I end this, my biggest advice for anybody who's watching this, if you're interested in, a STEM field, go on your social media and honestly follow women that are in that profession, and ask them questions. As silly as the question may be, ask them questions. That's honestly how I met my current mentor. I found her on social media during this pandemic, and I kind of just asked her questions on how she navigated through certain situations. So definitely try that. Just remember that college is what you make it, no matter what.
Hi friends, my name is Malika and I am a St. Philip's College graduate. I will be transferring to the University of Texas at San Antonio, where I will be pursuing my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. A little bit about myself. My interest in engineering began in high school, where I was surrounded by friends, family, peers, and mentors who supported me and challenged me throughout that time. I would like to take the time to give thanks to Dr. Tamika Wilson, Dr. Jody Duncan, Mr. Ravi Novan, and Miss Tracy Watts, all of who have been very supportive of me over my research career and in general throughout college. Without them, I wouldn't be able to have the opportunities that I have today. Many have contributed to my drive to learn and improve, but most importantly, innovation itself drives me through STEM. I have worked in several fields, including but not limited to automotive, architecture, design, and drafting. A little bit about my experience. I competed under the Technology Student Association in high school, where I designed a tiny house given guideline restrictions. This is a bit more of my architectural work going into play. I received first place and best of class at both the state and regional level. I was very proud. It was a very good experience for myself, and I was also happy to see others' work experience, the idea they were behind, and why they had that idea. It is definitely an experience that I would hope for others to have and see in a good light. More recently, this past summer, I was given the chance to do research funded by the National Science Foundation with two peers. My primary investigator taught us hard and soft skills such as SolidWorks, resume building, and also gave us a place to begin skill building and working on ourselves to get ready for the workforce. With those skills, I was able to design a face mask that is fully customizable, cheaper, and can be made at home, can be made for a community. If anybody is interested in that information, please let me know. I will gladly forward it over. My information will be on the screen here shortly. Finally, as there is a lack of women in STEM, I definitely think that this is well needed. I believe that I can be the change that I want to see in STEM by continuing to pursue a career in STEM. I think that representation is important. When I was in high school, I had a lady come up to me at an award ceremony after I received an award for my excellence in architecture. And she told me she was very proud of me because there was not many women in the field that she works in. She was an engineer. And that was probably one of the many things that continually drives me today also. Again, women in STEM is very important. We look forward to seeing more women in the field, and I hope that this encourages you all to move forward and take the initiative to join us. Thank you all for listening to me. I hope you all have a great day. Bye.
Hi there, my name's Alex Barba, and I am a St. Philip's College graduate. I'm a first-generation graduate to earn an associate's degree from St. Philip's and a bachelor's from the University of Texas at Austin. I am currently in the process of working towards a master's in medical science and hope to be admitted into medical school within the next couple of years. Growing up as an only child was not as easy as many might think. Being a first-generation student, I didn't have anyone to guide me through career choices or college applications. At times, I felt really lost. And I would just get really discouraged, and I would just sit there and cry and think, how am I going to get through this? Am I even made for college? Most of those times I wanted to quit, but I'm so thankful that I decided to push through and I finally ended up where I am now. I want to thank my parents for being the biggest support system in my life. They have always pushed me and have always made me believe that I can actually achieve anything that is persevered. I also want to thank Dr. Jody Duncan for taking a chance on me and mentoring me since my freshman year at St. Philip's. Getting to know her and all her accomplishments allowed me to reach out and ask for help that I was needing from her in order to continue my journey. When I was 7 years old, I was at a carnival with my dad and we were playing skee ball. All I remember is throwing balls and winning about 4 to 5 stuffed animals. I then noticed a little boy around my age. He was in a wheelchair and he couldn't seem to win anything. My first instinct was to ask my dad, can I give him my stuffed animal? Is that okay? Looking back, I've always liked helping out and I've always liked giving back to my community. It is something that I've always been passionate about, and when trying to choose a career path in high school, I was so confused. What job would allow me to give back to the community while still being the nerdy girl who loved to dissect and experiment in science class? That's when I realized that STEM was the right path for me. At first, I was intimidated to be a girl in STEM. All throughout grade school, my peers would make fun of me because a girl shouldn't like science or science experiments were for boys. Once I entered college, I saw how many successful women there were in the STEM field, and it just made me want it more. As you continue your journey, whether it's in STEM or in any other aspect of your life, people will try and tell you that you can't do it, but that it should be reason enough to show them otherwise. I'm really glad that I did.
Hi, my name is Tracy Watts, and I'm the SEMA Lewis Stokes Alliance for Minority Participation Program Director. And I also oversee the NASA Mural Initiative. The SEMA LSAMP program, sponsored by the National Science Foundation, assists all 5 Alamo colleges, providing high-level research opportunities to minority and underrepresented students in the STEM fields. Students receive support from faculty and peer advisors as they're tutored, mentored, and encouraged to pursue baccalaureate and graduate degrees, with the ultimate goal of diversifying the nation's workforce in STEM-related fields. The program provides an incredible opportunity for our students, and we're so proud of the hard work and effort they put into making it a huge success. We also appreciate all of the partners that make the SEMA LSAMP program possible. We work alongside faculty mentors from UTSA, UIW, Texas A&M San Antonio, the Southwest Research Institute, Sam Houston, U.S. Army Institute of Research, and of course, our faculty mentors from the Alamo colleges. But none of this would be possible without our president's vision and leadership. Dr. Lawson's extensive STEM experience allowed her to see the need for additional research opportunities at the Alamo colleges as she led the charge to secure grant funding in 2013. We have a rich legacy of women in STEM at St. Philip's College, and we hope their stories will encourage you to dream big and follow in their footsteps.